And when elimination is on the line, things get very intense. It is 1-1 between YFP and Decimate. We were maybe thinking about the possibility of it being a 2-0, but it was Decimate waking up right into that second half. And also, my cat wants to say hi.
Oh my goodness.
And you gave us too much credit. We weren't just thinking about it being a 2-0. We both said it, and we were both wrong. So
go back to the cat. You can keep talking, but go back to the cat.
Yeah, go back to the cat.
What is going on? Thank you. All right, Wyatt, continue.
No, that's
It's like
it.
the cat talking.
That's all.
I mean, I was believing it too in that first half. 7-2, I think it was. Like, I thought it was for sure happening. But you saw Decimate in that second half. I mean, they just destroyed. And it felt like they were doing everything much better. It felt like so much more practice. And, you know, I was talking about how YFP had that comeback yesterday. And then, Dan, you brought up the same thing that happened with Decimate as well, needing to come back on Lotus recently too. So maybe it's just that experience on this map is much higher. And maybe that depth is somewhere we're seeing both teams be able to pick out some much better ideas. YFP, obviously, on that defensive side, that's going to be rough to be able to fix up. But their attack was really good until the end.
And one thing that I just keep thinking about is when I look at YFP and the wins that they've gotten since that day one, it all seems to be very momentum based. When they take those wins as a comeback, it is 4 or 5 rounds in a row. This time around, it was 7 rounds in a row that they got at the beginning, but it was not enough. It was just YFP coming back, looking strong and looking so much better on that second half. And we're in a position where we got to see a little bit of great signs to get to that top 4 for both of the teams, but we now move into a map where everything's more standard. The compositions that were already, it's very limited, Wyatt. So I'm just wondering how this is going to go down.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I obviously agree. Ascent is the very standard map of the game, and the sort of standard is what seemed to be the situation in which YFP were thriving, especially on the first map. And to your point about the momentum and how they've strung the rounds together and that been the catalyst for their wins, it'll be interesting to see if then when we go to Ascent, if they can regain the momentum that they've lost here. If that's going to be a major factor, as you pointed out.
And it seems like there was also, out of all the many rounds that we saw, the 7 in a row for this head of YP and then Decimate coming back, Val, there was a round that you wanted to break down.
Yeah, I just wanted to give another example of great planning and ideas from YFP. Here they go for a big A fake with a boombot through the door, a cosmic divide coming through as well. And they're using the change to the Astra to make this really, really hard to read and understand. They just flipped the map. I mean, this is very basic, but you can actually see there, Astra Wall is blocking their path into this B site, but that's on purpose. It's to make it look like no way they're going to run through that wall, but also use the sounds to make it so that they can't hear until that very last second. And it nets them not only the possibility of a lurk by the Raze and the Viper on the minimap right now through Tree if it wasn't for the lockdown, through A if it wasn't for that lockdown, but also this lurk from Kurosu as well. Just so much control when you're throwing them for a loop that hard. I wish we saw a little bit more of this type of play from them on the attack to actually close out the half, but yeah, I mean, we're not really talking about that in terms of how this is going to play out, right? We're talking defense side now. For them is the place they need to fix up. But that was beautiful. You have to give it to them. That was beautiful.
Yeah. That was the point in the game where we were like, yep, it's over. It's over when we were right once again. And then, oh no, we're tragically wrong.
But if you're one of these 2 teams, you're giving it all for this last map of Ascent. So let's take a look at the maps that we just got to watch, and the one that is left is just Ascent to define who's going to move to the top 4, and also to see who is going to be that team that is going to be eliminated first today.
Yeah, interestingly, DCM have a 0% win rate on Ascent in 2024. Now, that sounds terrible. They've lost
what is it?
Twice.
I was waiting for the actual number.
Yeah, let me just try to.
You should have left it out, bro. You're an analyst. Come on, you should have just left it out. Leave out the context.
YFP, on the other hand, they played the map a bunch. They played it 7 times so far in 2024, and have mixed results. They're like down the middle. I think they're like 4 wins, 3 losses, something like that. So a lot more, you know, to watch from YFP if that was something they were interested in doing between these 2 days, expecting that Ascent could be in the pool.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because the teams that they played those 2 games that you talked about, the boys and Passion Project, right? Passion Project, both of those teams they played close. So we see standard comps from both sides. The thing here is, it's gonna be really interesting. I think that because YFP is starting on defense, right? We just saw Lotus be really rough for them. They lost 8 out of 8 on retakes, basically every single round, and that's something that's gonna need to be barreled up here. And it was in prior maps, right? It was on Sunset. It was on their Lotus yesterday. So let's see how it goes here on Ascent. I mean, defense is usually a strong start, usually the one that you want to be on. But after that half, maybe not so much.
To Dan's point, starting on defense here could be the answer to not just the regaining the momentum, but actually stringing together a ton of rounds in a row. You can't just run away, with Ascent if you start on the defensive side, win the pistol, get the Odin online.
Get the Odin, I don't know, but definitely get the upper hand on that defensive side for YFP as they get the advantage to start on this side. And to me, that is going to be the most interesting. Also, coming back to Sekia, one of the videos that we got to watch from her saying she works a lot on the mid round, and we come back to what we saw on that map, or that day number 1 rather, from her, and seeing how that mid round is going to play a part into making it to the top 4. We're going to see how this series is going to close out as we send it to the casters.
Thanks, Triad. We got to cast FYP on this map, YFP on this map. I knew I was gonna make that mistake. And we're not haters of YFP, but we're not exactly lovers of what we saw from them on Ascent. But we don't miss also the old Kanye. This is the new Kanye. This is the new YFP that brings so much aggression and energy from when we last saw them.
Agreed. And I think it's something that they're gonna have to hopefully carry this over from the aggression, at least from that first map into the third. Vala mentioned it. This is a map on the previous one on Lotus where they weren't able to play retakes on the site on defensive side. And even though Ascent is only a 2-sided map, there's so much mid control and so much pivoting that you could do in the mid roundings that forces defenders to mostly play retakes these days on Ascent. So hopefully they could do something with that. And it starts off with YFP not wanting to allow DCM to play a take. 4 players pushing down mid.
Okay. Wasting no time. Looking at each other, waving. And the smoke separates the 2 dogs. But DCM leaning towards A. Who is anchoring the site is Raven on the defense. And a slow, methodical push out of DCM. Being able to grab that orb is always nice. You got that lurker from Carry over at B, and who's maybe starting to extend out of B could be YFPX, but no eyes on mid. See how loud DCM want to get here on A.
This is going to be difficult because the KO is playing all the way towards the B side. The only thing you have is a smoke and a paranoia on the hit. So Raven playing inside the smoke instead.
Ooh. Great connection. Zan with first blood, got the back of the team. Door is closed, but the hopes not killed yet for YFPX. They're gonna break that door. They're gonna have 2 at Heaven. DCM took some damage. They haven't fallen yet. Rise and Zan watching door at Heaven is Kurosu and friends stomping away, but not knowing where Zan was. Gonna cost them at least 1. Emluo waits for the drop, hears it. They're gonna check Hell. Emluo ready to swing. Spike planted for DCM, so they just gotta play their lives, and no lives left for YFPX after pistol.
Keeping 1 player alone, Raven, in the site was a tough one. She had a gamble, paranoia, and hopefully get the pick off against Zan, and loses that one when Zan wasn't affected by the paranoia. I wonder if maybe because she was playing the Omen inside and Castle was on A Heaven, there was an opportunity to maybe throw a smoke into A main and instantly pop the recon dart. Should Raven have 2 smokes there and hopefully get some kills through, but that wasn't the case no matter what. And unfortunately, that makes it so much difficult for YFP to retake when you don't have the paranoia to do so, and your recon dart was already used. So DCM, great strong pistol round. Second round, looking for an aggressive B main push.
Wow.
Bye.
Well, the smoke did not help. Obscured Neko. The bullets to rain down, and this means B site is weakened. And DCM head there. They're going to be suppressed for a second. Their position revealed. YFPX on the market side. No one at the back site. And then you have Kurosu looking around mid. Maybe seeing if they could spot the cross from the Sova and Omen over into B main.
That's done.
The threat from YPX is behind, so DCM have to set their sights forward with that pig on the Kazler. Market looking sketchy, and with that smoke, well, YPX got to wait this out. Door closed. Both teams separated. DCM with a safe plant.
Yeah, all they have to do, DCM at this point, is just gain the space that was given away and post up in ADS. Let's shot for Kurosu at least, but that might be the end. Definitely is. Carry 4 kills on top of that, and this is once again Lemon Kiwi. As we were mentioning Zan on that previous round, forming up orbs to get a showstopper. You already have very close to a lockdown in round number 3 here for the attack side of DCM.
Cute to see Neko go for a play like that, though. It's when the whole team is there. Doesn't matter where you're gonna hide. As the rain of bullets came down, gave a chance for DCM to walk in. And then having 2 stuck at the market door, that being closed, that being smoked off, didn't give YPX a lot of options. But here's a different option here for DCM. Updraft right through mid, and Neko with the outlaw. Okay. There's only 1 sheriff left in this town, now 0. But DCM stomping through market. There's Kazler on the left. Swing, and Fry still wins that. And that means DCM have taken angles around B, and then Kurosu's gonna be in trouble. Can they deliver on the Guardian as soon as the smoke dissipates or someone swings through the door? Shock Bolt is gonna push Kurosu all the way to the back of sight. DCM only a 1-member advantage. Just gonna see if they can bait out Kurosu to reveal their position. And YFPX can't really back them up. They just have Raven at the back site.
They're going to hit this soon off their next cycle of utility. The free util comes out. Nice shots there.
Spike down B.
Third kill for Rise. Keeping the round alive for DCM. Plant going down. Sekia smoked off. And I think Rise is looking right at this too. Half health. It's going to be good bait. Sekia. It's doable. Depends how this connection goes against Carry. In B closet. Gonna go all the way around. Checking everything. Logs. And wow! Great shot on Emlo. Tosses the flash. Spot to see if anyone's gonna swing on them. Throws a nade. Clears out the opposite side. Another flash. Where is this last member? Ring around the rosy. Rise. Gets 4 for DCM.
Yeah, 4 HP remaining on that one too. Just eating the brunt of the fragment that was thrown by Sekia to be able to pinch around and get that backstab kill. But this was a nice idea. Getting an outlaw in the hands of Neko Aimer when in a bonus round you probably still have a couple of players that are going to be in small shields and you're hoping to get a little bit out of that, but couldn't dash away fast enough or couldn't get some support from more players on middle so that she could get away. And that just fumbles towards the end here on that B side. They held way too long. There was no way to fight back from YFP, and once again they're trying to play the reaction, allowing DCM to cycle that free util off the KO and the Sova to just hit back the B side and convert their bonus. Now carries 1 away from that lockdown that we mentioned before. YFPX just trying to do whatever they can. We've seen similar things before on how they do their setup. This time it's the KJ turret with the Neko Aimer pushing up towards the B. But now we're seeing something a little bit more default that we haven't seen from YFP. Alarm bots. This game against FlyQuest, where I was molding for so many times with no alarm bot on middle, they finally have ways, or they're adapting back into, hey, let's go back to the basics. Utilize that utility to get information and work the map into mid rounds. What Sekia could call, rather, after that. Well, hopefully this will continue down as YFPX will move in their gun round after. But it's a huge stalemate that we currently see on both ends with a minute down in this round.
Not sure how many numbers on the other side of that smoke. DCM got no info on mid from the KO knife. Dashing in is Zan. A-Main is getting looked at, but it's smoked off, but Emluo wins through the chaos. Carry takes down Sekia. DCM have a 2-member advantage, getting the plant down. Kazler coming through heaven, and 2 from tree. YPX are split up and not set up for a crossfire. And DCM seems safe playing from A main. YPX just haven't put a good enough dent into DCM to really turn this round around. DCM are looking good. Neko turns and burns on the rise. That's nice, but not really winnable. DCM with 4 in a row.
4 in a row. Ult now ready for carry. Bladestorm available for Zan. The money's out here for YFP, but there's a great opportunity to reset them once again. So Op comes out for Neko. It looks like she's posting this up on Catwalk where she want to potentially go for something very quick into the B link. Where they had some good ways to actually pick off on the link first was to try to get that play against an Omen smoke on that Catwalk and have some support. I see this, okay, I see this Silva on the top of market. They might want to try to recon at the top of mid to allow Neko Aimer to really push out.
All right, teleport from MLO to the opposite side. Might have had that paranoia from YPX just early through A main. A nade. Sekia just pressure the orb and swings at the same time, and DCM comes out on top. You should run that trade. Now you got a lockdown in place there by Carry. There's some space at the top of heaven, and I think Kazler's going to take advantage of that. There's a flash. DCM entering sight. Knows it's mostly clear. Just taking some eyes over at heaven.
Rise's arm is way too strong. I'm throwing that molly. Oh well, fight goes down.
Gonna want an NFL team for sure. YFPX touching down onto heaven. Waiting for the perfect moment to swing, but not having great options. Just Kazler with some util. Neko could be aggressive here, but with all of DCM having different angles around the side and playing A main safely around this corner, it's YFPX that are going to decide to conserve these guns, and namely that op there from Kazler.
Yeah, I like that YFPX were able to get some good control on the top and middle. When I was talking about that recon dart on the top, looks like it was just a smoke that we used by Raven instead on top middle. And I think using that smoke, though, does not really allow for them to refresh the one-way on the top of A main. So they tried to go for a play on the 2-player swing out with a flash that was instantly red because the one-way not being there. It allows for the flash to be a little bit more readable and DCM to punish on that. Should the story be different here where they want to play a little bit more passively and lock down that area, maybe you could have funneled some players back into that op on middle. So you had no opportunities to really set up your YFP on the mid control, or at least to try to push your opponents back against that op, rather, is what I'm trying to get to. So they pay the price on that one. At least they're able to save those 3 weapons, but they still have to figure out how they can actually manage to fight against DCM, who just, once again, really has it in their favor in terms of working this map for the attack. I mean, Carry's 9-0 so far. Used a lockdown already, but I'm pretty sure Rise should be very close on an ult as well. And this is going to be very difficult for YFP, so they desperately need this timeout and try to figure out how, playing aggressively like they wanted to, and they're not finding picks out of that. How do you now contain towards the end when DCM are actually going for these hits?
Because we commended YFPX and their ability to retake back on at least the first half of Lotus.
The first
before,
map, yeah.
We don't talk about the second half of Lotus there, but Decimate are on a similar track of 5 unanswered rounds. And having Bladestorm there for Zan too. DCM have been able to execute on every single site that they've touched. It's hard to stop them.
Definitely is. And now it's going back to the tried and true of trying to get the op control on middle. Pop Flash is not going to affect Neko Aimer, so she still has a great spot to watch towards this B lane and can still dash away. So I like this. And now it's different here. You see those one-ways coming out on that A side for YFPX. They can contain and control that. So the weakest spot they currently have is A main, but that's fine. Because if there's a lot of tree pressure happening on that side in the mid running for DCM, they could push out towards A main and control that area and play the retake on their side. So it's a great way to hold this default that they have right now for YPX. Look at the 4 position that they have too.
Kurosu gonna hold hands with Carry here in a second, but Kazler shock bolt to scare Carry back.
Yeah, that's
I
interesting.
really thought they were gonna run headfirst into each other.
Well, this is off contact of the turret more than anything else, right? So you're trying to play it safe. They know, at least on Carry's side, that there's got to be somebody close for a KJ turret in the front, so they don't want to fully push out. So Recon Guard gets that information.
Here.
But really, we're just running into the mid round of just breaking a utility on the attack and trying to see who rotates. And after breaking an alarm bot, look how there's less players now on that A
30
side where
seconds left.
DCM's connecting to on a split.
Okay. IPX a lot more committed out of B main. It's going to put pressure on the carry to deliver. Who turns?
Oh, no.
And I'm not done with you. You're dead with your friend. 2 for carry. As Raven tries to even things up to stop the push onto A, and there's not a lot of time left. 10 seconds for DCM. You're going to win it out in kills. 2 for Neko. Blade Storm hoping to prevent the point. The spike's not even in hand. 3 for Neko. DCM might just have their momentum halted, and it's a clutch for YPX.
Oh my god, that was sick by Neko Aimer, and that's the beauty of what we were talking about when you're actually getting pressure on the tree side, and the reads have been beautiful for DCM. I mean, look at that push. They had a perfect backstab for YFP, yet Carry still wins both of those. Now there's no time left. You have to commit towards the A side. So now you're able to still hold that utility on that A side because you weren't pressure on the A main. So allow for the paranoia to be huge there for YFP and for Neko to just dance around and play the time in their favor for YFP to win the round. I mean, you had to pull out magic out of a hat to win that round, but at least you got it done. And that's well played by Neko in that round.
And the Red Bull clutch for YFPX. You don't need a cat on your team, but man, Neko gives you wings to be able to conserve that op when you had 5 rounds in a row that you were losing to DCM. YFPX getting the shovel to unbury themselves from this hole. YFPX also keeping a closer eye on A. A lot more leaned on that side. Where Neko has an op at B main. DCM already getting hit by Paranoias. MLO in a spot that she can't get out of, and Raven wins that.
Wow.
YPX forcing DCM to rotate out.
Yeah, even the Molly misses, so now Raven is fake TPing away. Almost got the spray on the tap on that spike. Owl Drone, so we're playing the push and pull. Trying to at least keep the Opera at bay here towards the B main so they can re-hit towards the side. Nice walk up for this kill. Nicely done by Rise.
Hey, just kidding. A side's viable. Never mind. Kazler as an Odin. Gotta worry about it. Coming through heaven. Neko still rotating with the op. But look who's pushed up too. Misu could be coming from behind if she's quick enough, but she can't be very loud or they're gonna know. So DCM getting the plant right next to Hell. Maybe sending up to watch it from there. Heaven. Defensive members. Great shot from Neko to carry that close. Zan, this is an awkward spot to have an op, and Odin's nice and loud, and so is Misu, made her way through the flank. Oh, when you got the Blade Storm, that's a lot better to work with.
Wow.
And DCM take the round.
I thought that Zan probably could have busted out that cloud burst as soon as they got the plant down just to try to delay a little bit more to allow here Misu to get that flank. And I love it. I mean, they got so far out of range on that alarm bot from Kurosu that it got nullified, allowing Misu to get behind enemy lines. So that was a slight mistake being played there on, again, a default setup that you have for utility for YFPX. It should have been somebody else that plays on the top of the heaven side so that Kurosu could stay in the range of their alarm bot. That said, a round that comes in for DCM once again, an eco that you have for YFP, trying to gamble something on a pressure towards mid, trying to walk out. Dash already activated.
Oh, Neko says, never mind. You have a bigger gun. I don't like that. Good attempt. Not taking damage too was nice. Silver lining. An owl drone from Misu. And the smokes are clear. Who is in market? Okay, there's at least one, and you mark them, but obviously you still have to check those corners. Neko. Okay, that's how you check corners, I guess. Mow them down.
Still very good, though. This owl drone that spotted Sekia, she probably did it on purpose here so that Neko Aimer could try to get a one and done because she doesn't have a dash anymore. So she gets a pick off a Sheriff. That's good enough to really foil DCM in the mid round.
Big engagement for Neko, who hasn't been discovered, didn't even move an inch with the Odin. Now finds themselves underground and dead. DCM, 3-member advantage. The sky's the limit. Any site could be theirs. Raven around this corner is going to hear this stomping. Don't want to maybe engage into that, but now you have no other choice. DCM with 30 seconds left. No flawless round. You even need to plant.
Yeah, I mean, they threw a smoke towards the tree, which then activated all of YFP to start pushing forward on mid and B main. But I would like to think that the turret that was placed by Kurosu on the top of that A site could still look down towards that tree side. So I felt like they got juked here. I mean, look at the where it looks like it doesn't look deep enough into the line of the tree. So that set an extra line of paranoia for YFPX, and they wanted to try to find some information. And one smoke just allowed for DCM to really get a huge win off in the anti-eco.
Boy, YFPX are so broke after this. This is a must-win round, or DCM are just gonna be let loose, and so is Zan. Catching Neko on catwalk? Neko's trying everything to be creative, to be as aggressive as Zan can be on the duelist, but not coming out on top. Now DCM took care of business, and they head towards A, and look, just every piece of utility from this KJ is at this door.
With a lockdown too. Lockdown and Hunter's Fury. That's the best thing that you got here to try to get something going. At least clearing out towards that tree. It allows for YFPX to maybe try to go for a double swing towards B main. That will then allow for DCM to... Oh, never mind. Back to you. Let me do it.
Back to you. Here at Channel 4 News, DCM takes site and can't be stopped. YFPX is going to have a lot of issues. Two coming from tree. At the top is Sekia. Plant successful, and with the shelter of smoke, carry pops out. Raven wins that. It's not impossible for YFPX, and like I said, this is a must-win round with where the economy is at for them. Door can be broken by the defense. Rise takes shelter in hell, feeling like they're in hell with how much YFPX have taken over the space. And DCM are a little bit split, but once the smoke clears from A main, DCM could do some real damage. Rise doesn't even need any help. You got the Hunter's Fury to funnel them into positions. Just up to Raven. And can't do much. 8-1 for DCM.
I understand now why YFP didn't want to use that lockdown. We had that Hunter's Fury available for DCM that could have canceled that right away. So for them to choose the null command to try to retake the site, smart play, but everybody's already playing outside of that range, outside of that radius. They could still use util here to slow things down rather for YFP on the retake. But yeah, I mean, at that point, that first pick that we saw from Zan on to Neko on the top of the boxes to catwalk, that then becomes an attacker side call that they know this read is coming through with the smoke on the top middle. And especially with a recon dart on B-Link that are going to try to do this. Now back on a Nico, Zan once again with a great read.
Come on. Oh! There's two that came out. Found the gap, though. Heart in the Red Sea. But DCM, I don't know. Two people coming through A main. You hit a target, and Misu does not want that smoke. Gotta get all the way out, and now as the DCM was trying to move forward into B through this flank from YPX coming through A, now DCM are getting hit from all sides. And this could be a turning tide for YPX, especially with the buy that we're looking at.
YPX is actually, sorry, DCM is pinned right now. And the more that clock runs down, they have, again, this double ult. Maybe not Kurosu to be able to use it, but this Hunter's Fury could be everything. So the slower you're moving for DCM, the more you're going to have a second round off of Thrifty for YFPX. You have to move quickly once the smoke dissipates. They're pinging out at least
Smoke
for a
gone.
hit.
Crossfire ready.
30
Gonna
seconds
take
left.
the bait. Zan having the dash. Zan has the corner lineup, and that Omen was not able to get the trade. Zan gets two and is thriving.
Gotta move in.
Moisturize and in their lane. Speaking of that lane, it's B, and it's planted.
Not being used. Good call there for the null command from the attack on Rise, not allowing the Hunter's Fury to come out, and even if you got out of range, didn't want to use it yet.
Well, not horrible. 2 versus 2. Spike Planet, not a YPX don't have time on their side, and Sekia's coming through the right. Zan could get pinched. It all depends on how the backup goes for Rise in the closet, and YPX just can't retake.
You can't. And that continues to be the storyline once again. The retake coming out now for DCM, despite the history of these rounds coming through here on the attack side in favor of DCM. It looks like they're elimination rounds, but all of these are on post plants, or most of them are on post plants as well. And that's been the demise of YFP since that second map. Once again, that baller is mentioned. Hopefully they get something out of this op here, but now it's the Owl drone's not supporting them, so they don't have Caster with them to really try to take control of B main. It's a gambler walk forward. Oh my god, what a pick.
Oh.
What a pick.
Oh.
GG. You have an alarm bot out there at the staircase, and you're still getting taken on top of them too.
That's rough. DCM not even needing to do much. They got 2 kills, but who's poking out here of B main is Neko, who already dashed back. Now DCM know that Jet is over there, so let's ignore that Jet. Go all the way to A. Paranoia from Mluo to pressure back Tree and Glass. YPX getting set up at Heaven to prevent entry, to make this play difficult. Then Mluo turned her back at the wrong moment, so Caruso picks up 1 in that case.
Spike planted.
DCM still have a 4 versus 2. Neko with the op, gonna do their best now that their last one standing, and Zan is just better. 10-1 for DCM.
The silver lining is we're gonna have to see in the next round. No, they didn't. I thought Carrie got picked off before the lockdown, or while she was trying to put the lockdown down, which basically would have nullified the pulse plant lockdown capability of DCM right here off that kill from Raven. But the reason why I want to say that is because Caruso's been holding on to their ult on that lockdown probably since round number 6, and they never had an opportunity to really use it. And now this might be the saving grace. Blade Storm, Outlaw, a bunch of ults on the defense. And it favors right now the defensive side for a retake because there's no Hunter's Fury for Mizu. Run the defaults. Play a little more passively is the name of the game because they have the capabilities of denial. And using those non-important ults, like the From the Shadows of Raven, to try to get information towards B main with Seki, who doesn't have an ult at all, is a great way to at least run the map at the beginning on the game plan that YFPX to want to contain their ults this round. Or leverage it, rather.
Wish we had op stats for Zan. I think the Zan having just an outstanding performance on this map has really propelled DCM in a position of success. Now aiming down at Tree. Don't make me look like I cast or cursed you. Rosu swinging. Oh, the shot doesn't connect. Okay, plan B, knives. Those might hurt more.
I mean, that is going to be the call now for DCM to activate towards the A site. There's the first lockdown. Caruso could maybe counter if they want to. Looks like they want to utilize it for the retake.
Left.
They don't care about the Hunter's Fury. They want to use it towards the spawn on the retake as well.
Okay, plant being attempted by DCM. You got the Hunter's Fury from Kazler. No one detained from that lockdown. YFPX going for their own lockdown with 10 seconds left. DCM have to go for the kills. Mluo has Sekia on a corner. Who comes out on top? Sekia is just different.
Oh.
And now 2 players detained. YFPX, go finish off your food.
Wait.
What did you start? 2 versus 1. Carry. Hey, there's a defuse. You know exactly where the spike is. Not able to prevent it in time. And YFPX ain't dead yet.
Thank God Raven was still alive with the smoke there. Somehow still has a paranoia in her hands, though. That could have been an important piece of util for YFP for a stronger retake, but nonetheless, they still got it done thanks to the lockdown, though. You saw the attempt coming out. There was like only 1 player, 2 players started trying to fight towards the tree side. Could have been a moment there where they had to fight all of the members back to force the tree battle. But YFP took a while and took a lot of ults in order for them to finally get the second round. But we'll see. I mean, Dan Dryden mentioned on the desk, Sekia has been working a lot of that mid-rounding on a map, or just in general, where I hope that on Ascent right here on their attack side, they could turn it around.
Yeah, a ton of ults came out, and look, YFPX successful at retaking. Not too bad. Or in that case.
Yeah, that's true.
Looked like they were able to stop DCM for once when it was kind of a rule. But hey, the first half decided with 10-2 for DCM. Couple rounds away from solidifying themselves into the lower bracket semifinal, where they await the winner of Passion Project versus Supernova Galaxy, which will be taking place right after this match. And also that locks them into top 4. More money, more points, and more cloud, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, they're hoping for that. But if anything, like, yes, good call. stats percentage for retake finally came up for YFP after the amount of volts that they used for the retake. Now they can't do that anymore because they have the attack side. Looking at least a buy that we currently have for them is that they're going to be focusing on ghosts and a lot of Omen utility. This Paranoia and even the KO utility. So mid control could potentially be the name of the game right now to try to set up for Neko Aimer to take market. But for DCM, they're looking to fight B main very early.
See how quick YPX are gonna be. They're just ignoring B main, and look who's stomping in. Okay, the turret discovers Emluo, who took some damage from it. That's unfortunate. But look, YPX don't even care. They're coming through the market side, wrapping around. That's a good smoke, but Zan doesn't even get to see their own body die in that case. And that means YPX have already set up planting and trying to extend out to watch top of sight. Carry takes care of Neko. Now YPX feeling less comfortable. Good trade by Sekia to hold the corner there, but we're left with a 3 versus 2 in favor of YFPX's offense. As Emluo with the smoke at the top is going to block off Kurosu. YFPX is trying to hold it down. Emluo is not in the healthiest position. Coming through the left side. Did hear Kazler throw down some shots from closet, but that might bait them to not check this corner. Jump. How does Rise win that? That is stupid.
No idea.
That is not supposed to happen. And DCM get all the picks, but Kurosu clutches up.
Okay, that was a close call, but beautiful round from both of these teams. The aggression that came out towards B main to pivot from the attack to work towards the market and even smoke out B main so that they could contain those players behind that smoke and they can't fight back. So what does YPX do? They want to push towards the spawn. They lost the first initial fight, but they had perfect fundamentals for the trade right after on the pulse plan by the staircase towards the spawn. And it came down to that 1v1 in the end just because, again, great reads from both sides. Though DCM round number 2, they're looking to run down mid. Full classics. And by I say running, they're just holding. Just right-click classics off the turret.
Running ideas to their mind, at least. The turret, hitting somebody. You're mid, and everyone swings out to deal with it. And DCM holding hands. That's what Pistol brings out, the friendship in all the teams. Now they go towards A. And YFPX being real quiet about their approach. And the orb has revealed their position.
Yeah, that's fine as well. Aldrone came towards the top 2. It doesn't really look like they were fully committing towards an A site hit first because of that orb pickup. You saw that drone coming out towards this mid side. And because this turret never really spotted anything towards B main when they heard so many classic shots for B in the beginning, they're thinking here for YPX that they lean win towards the A site for the stack. So beautiful read here being done by Kurosu to call for their teammates to rotate back towards the B site where they could contain another orb or just hit for a plant.
Okay, YPX being aggressive with this now. They've already smoked off market door. Checking
30
out.
seconds left.
It could be around boats. YFPX closing the door. And they smoked off where Carry is, like I said. So you're not going to have that immediate contest or any shots coming from the defense to prevent this. DCM have to play for the retake. Here comes the pain train. DCM running over Sekia. The plan was still successful. YPX fighting for their lives. It's all out chaos. Kazler with 3. Saves it for YPX.
That was a beautiful underhand flash, actually, to get that first kill. But once you're set up the way that you are here in the back of the B site, wonder if maybe you could have had a recon dart. I really didn't check, sorry, with the amount of util that came through that flash from DCM on that retake. And nonetheless, you definitely saw it lit up like all red here on the attempt of DCM moving in. Crossfire setup was so good. And I like that they closed the door too so that Kurosu could go for a late lurk through spawn. Should the door not be broken, so they would have been the last resort should anything else happen on DCM's retake. This round, though, looking for a contact potentially just to flash over to have a double swing moving out after. And it's off an orb tap.
Raven looks pretty cooked here. Okay, teleport out. Good. Get out of jail free card. Because they're going to get swung on by DCM in that moment. But hey, you are distracting them. So good job by Raven. Got them dancing. Now what does YPX do now that the A site is Occupado. They're going to throw the Owl Drone to help look around market, see if there's anyone in there. Not getting a lot of intel, though. You must know that B site could be stacked. And YPX have been revealed mid.
Yeah.
We'll see how DCM react to this.
Most important thing off the Owl Drone was to find where the alarm bot was to break it. And then you saw that double come out here from the Owl Drone pinging back on B-Link, and then they double swung off catwalk.
The pixel of the forehead from Neko. Oh, got the Hunter's Fury from Kazler, though. This is going to help clear a B site. Who's still anchoring this, though, is
30
Carry in
seconds
Closet.
left.
Up against the opposition of KJ. Looks at the wrong corner. Big win by Carry. Zan with a pick on the market.
One enemy remaining.
IFPX know they're surrounded,
Spike
and they
down
ran
B.
out of bodies to execute. 15 seconds left, and Raven in a 1v4. First pick on the market. Knows
10
someone
seconds left.
is at the top of sight at the very least. Tries to switch guns. That was almost an unlucky timing. 5 seconds left. And that is it. DCM take the round.
It looks like there was a little bit of miscommunication on how they wanted to hit the site there for YFPX. I don't know if it took them a while to close that door, but you saw that Kurosu was running in alone towards the B site with no potential to trade. 3 players are still holding back towards that switch. I definitely know that the door was still closing because when we were looking at the POV, somebody was shooting it down, and that was probably the right here, Zan, breaking it open after. So I feel that there's, again, under that pressure where it looked so good for YFP on that first map. Now with the backs against the wall, how it was so one-sided for DCM on that first half that they're just breaking in terms of comms of trying to be a little bit more synergized on the hits towards the B site.
DCM breaking that momentum too, and YPX were on a roll. Pistols and anti-eco. Zan finding Raven, who's like to sit in that spot and kind of bait out their attention on that site, not able to teleport out. So this offense has to kick and kick hard, but with one member down, it's going to be tough.
Second
Now there's
chance.
2 players in closet too. Don't worry about Misu. Oh, trade's almost there. YFPX have cleared site, and the plant will be underway.
Second chance for them to work to take and clear the B site, and they finally do it to perfection. Yes, they lost a body in the process, but that was a take. Work with your numbers, work with your bodies, and trade towards the back of the site. You get a plant now. The knife actually suppressed a couple of players too towards the spawn. You have an opportunity to win this pulse play now for YFPX.
Kazler's weak. Seki watches hallway. Kurosu main. Okay. Both positions have been revealed, and unlucky timing on the arrow. Kazler still
Last
finishes
player
off, gets the
standing.
4th. Kazler fighting for the ace. On the corner, ring around the rosy. Jiggle peek. Good approach from Kazler. Got them shooting, got them panicking. And now just baiting out. Kazler with the iBuyPower ace to save the round for YPX.
You are so happy that Kazler is able to pull that ace for YPX to clutch that round. It definitely looked like there was a timing that was going to be in favor of DCM for that retake. And the reason why I was saying was because of this. They had a recon dart. They had a knife. They had a flash. But they still decide to bounce it off the gamble of the alarm bot to ring out before they use utility. Or maybe they could may have used that recon dart a little bit earlier, then pop a flash after. But they need heroic plays sometimes, and Kazler, player that went toe-to-toe before, is being pressured here on B main.
Oh god, this is chaos. The round just started.
Yeah.
Take them out to dinner first. Jeez. Great round by YFPX.
Yeah. So yeah, as I was trying to mention before here, Kazler going to toe-to-toe in that first day of the main event of the Game Changers Series #1 here in North America. Toe-to-toe against FlyQuest, now toe-to-toe against DCM, clutching that previous round, acing that previous round, and adding 2 more kills on the aggression that DCM was trying to bring out towards that B main on their eco. So it's a great call now for Decimate, despite them having a 5-round lead. They're starting to see here that it's slowly slipping away on the way that they're trying to retake these sites now. Hopefully off this timeout, they find a way here to shut down YFP. Or also, they haven't been looking clean right now on those retakes.
Yeah, Decimate definitely having a rough second half, only taking 1 out of the 5 rounds, I think. And also, let's let them assess what just happened that last round, where everyone just evaporated within the first 5 seconds of the round. So, needing to just get a hold of YFPX and this aggression, where you wouldn't say aggression and YFPX is synonymous based on how we saw them the last time we casted them on Ascent. So again, even if YFPX don't come out of the series, they should be really happy with how much they've changed in a short amount of time. But Decimate keeping composure, you got to give them credit there, where they would start off with quite a gap in the score, and they're right back in the driver's seat.
Now you can see off the timeout, YFP is also using that opportunity to probably nano swarm out towards logs and the entrance of B main in case the turret's there. The turret's actually being posted up on the switch here to watch passively on a mid control. So seeing how many times that YFP has been moving towards this B site, DCM are focusing on the lane control with the microwave setup that Carey has on that spot. So good way here to start things off on setups on both the attack and defense. Trying to go for the push and pull. You're definitely seeing the mid rounding happening very soon here, where the mid control should be moving. Actually looks like to be a B main. Aljo might be coming out right now from Castler.
Zan's ops looking over at A, so if you're YFPX, even though you don't know this because you don't got X-ray vision, you're happy that op ain't nowhere here. But still pinging it, ready to smoke it off. DCM have 2 on site. That's some ping here from the KO utility that YFPX is here. Now that that suppression is gone, let's see what the Owl Drone can see. This might be seeing a future dub. YFPX is running right after the Owl Drone. Oh, but Ryze's ult gonna be a problem. YFPX have to clear closets. Kurosu with a big win. It's up to Emluo to hold it down until backup comes, and you cannot call 911 anymore. DCM have Misu with 2. Gonna unleash the Hunter's Fury to try and prevent the plant, but it's not on Sekia, and the plant is successful for YFPX.
You should run.
Man, this is tough. Attackers, lockdown. This could be what seals the round for YFPX.
There's an op though. Oh my god, an extra inch, baby. No! Oh no, no, detained! What is going on?
Alright, where's the prey?
I
stopping.
I mean, Lizanne's trying to pray, but she can't put her hands together because she's detained. That's gonna be around here for YFPX. Oh my god.
It's just not over. 5 rounds now in this half. YFPX, come back.
Okay, make it expensive on the exits. That's actually pretty good here, at least for DCM. But yeah, the take on that B site was looking chaotic there. They pulled out the null command on the defense for DCM that was coming out right away by Ryze, instantly wallbanged because of the pulses coming out rather from the KO. The ult went towards the back of the site from Mluo, but it couldn't hold against the flood that you had from YFP. So what, again, doing a great job moving as a group to have great trades on that hit towards the site. And with that, it just makes it so difficult for DCM to retake when you have all these ults in favor of YFP. They didn't have to use a Hunter's Fury though. This is actually really good for YFP to potentially snowball some more rounds here on the attack. But that early knife towards the A main, the battle once again, to control A main is in favor of DCM because it spotted both players being, I think, an Omen and a Jet. Being Neko and Raven on that A main side.
Standing ahead.
No orb control.
First half started 10-2. It is not over.
Till it's
All
over?
is utility. Yeah. Until somebody sings. I can't remember the song.
I think it's called the Fat Silly. Fat Van Silly could sing.
I talk
hit
about my friend like that.
I hit some amazing songs on the karaoke machine. No cap.
Yeah. Oh, see? You got the lingo down. I like that. I get more impressed by you every day.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Well, let's see if we'll be impressed by YPX.
Yep.
They're marching
Nope.
down mid. Oh my god! Zan 3, the 2 with the collat. Goodbye, market. That is DCM's.
Everybody's just running forward and trying to like punch your hands together to lull come in out in the open.
30 seconds
and you get
left.
collatted that way. No way you can get a split into the B site. It was just a timing to push in. This should have been a round for YFPX. They had so many ults to work with. And still ways to work map control because they're playing double initiator. Here you're getting picked off here by Zen with a collat. Map point, series point as well. YFP in a brink of elimination.
Down.
Most unfortunate when one's trying to check the corner, the other one's moving forward. Lined up perfectly. Now it's match point, and YFPX just can't afford to make any more mistakes. At least they got ults, they got Hunter's Fury.
And one from
Not really,
Bladestorm.
Omen's ult is whatever, but okay, Zan. I'm sorry, I'm just being real.
Yeah.
Wow, DCM were aggressive and
Yeah.
no one's home, so they gotta assume this is an A push. And Neko's wasting no time. Bladestorm out.
Huge.
Hunter's Fury from Kazler to pressure Heaven and Hell at the same time, and DCM respecting it. YFPX walking in, and the cutoff by Zan, knowing where the Hunter's Fury was maybe coming from. Catches Kazler. A win from DCM there as Rise picks off Neko. Numbers advantage for DCM. 1 round away from the win. The lineup there, but Zan shakes under pressure. Emluo trying to flush them out. And Raven is a pillar for this team. But the defuse is going through and they're sticking it. Raven gets a pop on a smoke and prevents it just in time.
Red Bull clutch by Raven. So well done. That under pressure once again, heads up play by individual players. Like first, Kazler swinging out like this and not letting them know that there's actually a KJ on the flank was huge, which allowed their Kurosu to get that pick. And then Raven had to come up huge right after because, of course, when the jig is up towards that flank and it took down Kurosu, you need a Raven to step up to the plate. And man, did she do that to keep the dream alive now for YFPX. Economy low for DCM as they tried to shark attack on that previous round, trying to shut down the series right away. And because they lose in that fashion, they have to be put weary of this round. More passive, a little bit more disciplined.
Zan has Kurosu around the corner, ready to put them to bed. This will give them the Bladestorm and what DCM needs to win the round. Okay, turret reveal. Kurosu swings and wins. Great timing for YFPX. And B site weakened. But you know there's probably a KJ here. It's where they like to hang out at, and YFPX don't care about B. They're already entering into A. And with that smoke at top heaven, Emluo has to wait for backup. That means a free plant for YFPX.
Right now, Kurosu's rotating all the way back towards A main, so they want to play outside A, leaving tree all the way open. This might give an opportunity for Emluo to paranoia into sight with the rest of the team and funnel down towards the site. You need that smoke towards B main as well. She has a full kit for Emluo.
Peeking heaven and Sekia. Oh, okay. It was also Neko that helped out in that moment. That was real close.
So low in
DCM
HP.
only have 2 left and Spike's about to go off. Everyone's so killable for YFPX, like Sekia and Neko. So low. But it will be a YFPX win who keep just inching their way to making this closer and closer.
Well done by YFP. For them to throw the one-way into tree after that that peek that came out from Carry into heaven really changed things around and foiled the plans that YFP could have flooded with that paranoia into sight. If that paranoia went into hell and they had that smoke towards that A main, they could have had some instant trades coming out here for DCM for that retake. But as you said, we continue to make this very close here for YFP. Off this timeout that they had a couple of rounds ago, it really is starting to pay off here. You said it, they didn't have any more chances to really lose any more rounds. They have to be pristine in these plays so far, and they've been good on these reads. Good on the pulse plants, finally, at least for YFP. But on the other end for DCM, it's the same thing. Pulse plant retakes not working out in their favor.
We're all giggling and kicking our feet that Sekia got killed by the spike explosion, but with the economy that YFPX have, it's you don't want to do things like that. You want to preserve your guns, so we'll see if that will hurt.
Sorry to cut you. If Kurosu continued to peek forward, it was an updraft dagger attempt here by Zan on the other end, while the rest of YFP are trying to pivot towards the A side. Owldrome coming out the minute mark 2 to get late information. So they could cheat 3 players potentially towards this A site and still continue with the updraft if they can. There it is.
Oh. Not tall enough for the ride.
Yep. Just go back in line, buddy.
Oh, man. And when you hear that ult go off and you heard the updraft, YFPX are going to find angles around this jet. He's already disengaged back to the sides, and big engagement, one-to-one trade. This is for the game and the series. DCM holding back, and Zan couldn't distribute the knives nice enough. Damage has been done. YFPX, plant down, closet cleared, retake coming from top of site.
Huge utility right now for DCM, though. All of the utility needed to retake the site, and Raven is playing in logs, and this could be annoying to deal against.
YFPX with 2 back-to-back rounds. Can they make it a third? Can they come back from this? The line of the high-low in favors, but Raven with the trade. What? YFPX, they just keep clutching.
That was the knife actually not spawning anybody towards B main. They're like, oh, nobody's gonna play there, so let's just not smoke it. And then because of that, they still swing out, and then they had a crossfire set up on lane and logs. There was no way that they're gonna check that moment or that spot coming out of that smoke for Decimate after throwing that knife. It becomes beautiful there for the trade and the double swing off the pick that they got in the back of the site. The YFP, man, they're only 2 rounds away of closing this out. Decimate pulling out their last timeout of this series, unless it goes into overtime. But YFPX is starting to have a good read here. Same thing. This is the same story as we've seen on the first half, where DCM had full control of the attack side, and the retakes have been abysmal for both of the teams.
Yeah, I think it's a good time for a Decimate timeout when you've only taken 2 rounds in the half.
Yeah.
It's, when you had such a good start, 10-1. As I will reiterate, DCM, we're up 10-1. And I'm getting overtime vibes, which, depending on whose side of the fence you are in terms of a fan, could excite you and could terrify you.
I just
DCM
love Valorant.
cannot fumble them.
I just love that we have a close game, and I hope that both teams can move forward. Vansily 2024. I just quoted
great.
myself.
Nerd. But hey, Bala was sipping on the underdog, dark horse juice, whatever animal it was, but DCM, and we're all out of that. It is time to clutch or kick with YFPX. They just keep kicking and floundering.
Yeah.
And now they look to explore mid.
There was so much money invested in this round as well, so a great call off this timeout. This could be the swing. If they lose this one here, 2,900 is the max that you get, which puts them in a half buy, very low buy, Stinger's Guardian, whatever. Important here for YFPX. Beautiful juggle by Raven, spotting, I think, 2 bodies. This will initiate YFP's flood in this B site.
Especially when you heard how many people are coming out of A. This is a great call from YFPX to flood into B. 2 people in closet. Rise and MLuo have to trade perfectly. At least smoke makes it so you only have to worry about 1 door. But Carry is worrying about so much more. YFPX take care of both of them. Plant is engaged. YFPX, how long can they defend for? What, DCM are coming from all types of angles.
Oh, they need to keep MLuo alive because the paranoia is the biggest thing for their retake with the recon. They need to double that up to hopefully get some wall bangs, as all players of YFPX understand that, and they're playing all the way in the back of sight.
Recon, does it reveal Zan? Ready to jump in. Ooh, the timing on the paranoia there. Zan picks up Sekia. Oh, 1 left. DCM, 3 versus 1. Don't choke this now. And that will be the defuse for DCM and the series and the game. But a valiant comeback by YFPX at the end.
Chat, what do we say about those? Fake comeback. But it was, yes, definitely a very nice game for YFPX and Decimate overall in this series. Decimate, congratulations for them to get to move forward here in the lower brackets of the Game Changers North America Series #1. But yeah, that, as I mentioned, the recon dart and paranoia was going to be huge there. And getting that ping of the first person playing in the back of the dice, that really foiled the plans of the pulse plan capabilities of YFPX. But that looked like it was definitely doable rather. If that was the case, we definitely would see an OT and a great way to pursue the series. But we live in the reality now in this timeline that it's unfortunate that we get the loss there from YFPX and the elimination.
but a lot of growth. And this has been
Yes,
such a
that's
learning
true.
experience for them, when a lot of them, this is their first time in a main event. And I think they really changed up their play style. They weren't as passive as the last time we saw them, but Decimate showed cracks in the armor, but showed just how resilient that armor could be in these clutch or kick scenarios. A big congratulations to Decimate. They go to the lower semifinals to face the winner of Passion Project Supernova Galaxy, which is going to be going down next. But first, we're going to want to hear from the desk. We'll see you after the break.
Rachel, you okay?
No. I live with a broken phone. I can't trade in.
Okay, that's dramatic. Better plan's Verizon. Everyone can trade in their old phone and get the new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus with AI on them.
A new phone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Wait, I'm on Verizon. Can I still get it?
Yeah.
I gotta trade this in, right?
New and existing customers can trade in any Samsung phone for a new Galaxy S24 Plus watch and tablet, all on us. That's up to $1,800 in value, only on Verizon.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Decimate, they take the win 2-1 against YFP, and it was on the last map of Ascent. things were getting a little bit crazy. It was a 10-2 half. Then it seemed like it was about to go to overtime, but Bala right at the end, Decimate are able to close it out.
Yeah, just a small little switch up too. They had Zan on that side for so long, and then they swapped it up. She pushed A main, and they had 2 players backside. That was not what they expected. So yeah, just coming out of the timeout and coming up with a plan to close out in the last couple of rounds. I think Decimate really controlled themselves in that last one. But I mean, the first kills right there tells the story, right? That first half was dominant from them, and it was because of players like Zan, players like Carrie. They just turned up on that first half. And I mean, we saw the struggles continue for YFP on defense, right? We saw it on Lotus and we saw it here. The exact same thing. The retakes were just not quite there.
Yeah, yesterday against Shopify, Zan picking up the operator was crucial in so many of the rounds that they were able to win. And so far in this series, there was just a lot of... We were on the Raze maps. There wasn't any Jet being played. And it was even on Attack. Attack operating with the Jet was just so mega impactful. When Zan gets enough credits, the right agent, you know, can get the op online, clearly can just completely take over the game.
That means also that Decimate, they move forward and they guarantee the top 4 for this main event of Game Changers. And YFP, they are our 3rd team that gets eliminated. And as the casters were saying, I think it was absolutely a learning experience for YFP. They were looking better and better. They were benefiting so much from the momentum that they got into some of the early rounds, especially even in this last map, second half. But it was not enough this time around.
You know, I was really believing in that second half. I really was. I just felt, I mean, both teams displayed a kind of a weakness on defense when it came to Lotus, so I expected that it was going to be a little sloppy on the defensive half from both, but I mean, YFP played great. The series overall, I think, is not just a learning experience, but also something that you could take away successes from, too, and good learnings overall. But yeah, I mean, back to Zan for a second here. She had, what, seven first kills? Moments like that, for example. Just insanely good from that player to take control of the game. Ended, what, 28-15? Stuff like that is very, very hard to replicate and hard to actually pull off in this lower bracket run that they're about to try to go on.
Yeah, Zan aside, teammate from last year was so impressed with Kari in this series, especially on map 2 on Lotus when they were down so significantly. Kari ended up going 10-1 on the attack side, which is when they made that huge comeback on Lotus. Viper on that map is quite possibly, I think, the most important agent on Lotus, and was just going crazy. Brought them back on the attack half, continued to play excellently. As the KJ on Ascent, for me, the crucial player in bringing things back at that midpoint in the series where it looked like YFP were just going to get that 2-0 win. And also, with this win, this actually marks the deepest run for Kari and Zan, actually, that they've ever made in a GC event.
And that is great to see. I completely agree too for Carrie. It was even in the map loss, and even when the rounds were not really going their way, it was one of those players that are quietly having their impact, and then you really see it at the end. I think it's great to see. And for Decimate, you know, when you are in Game Changers, when you're in a tournament like this one, when you have a Shopify that is staying at the top of the game, and you start to see those improvements, you start to see them being able to figure out how to shut down the enemy team. It looks better, but it seems like the work is not done at all. Now, it is a good day for them, so I'm gonna go ahead and head to the Verizon post-match interview with the Rise, and I have a bunch of questions, Rise. First of all, congratulations on this win. My question for you is, this was actually a rematch, and you were able to close it out even though the beginning was not going your way. So what happened from that map 1 to the second and third to make sure that Decimate would get this win?
Was it a rematch? I'm not sure, actually. Maybe during
it was
the qualifiers.
From the open qualifier.
Okay,
so all the way back.
Sorry. I mean, Sunset was what we can call our warm-up, because we didn't really get to have like a full-on warm-up scrim, so I like to call it our warm-up. And then honestly, we were pretty confident about our Lotus and Ascent, so we could like kind of just relax and play our game.
And you know, you mentioned it was a little bit slower towards the beginning for Sunset. One of the things that we noticed on the other side was how YFP, they were grabbing some momentum and they would hold on to it for 4 or 5 rounds, and it happened across all the different maps. Was there a specific emphasis on you guys shutting down this momentum that was guaranteeing them, not only today but in the past, guaranteeing a couple of them those wins, those map wins, and for today that was not going to happen?
Honestly, I don't think so. Also, we like didn't have our coach for like the first 2 maps, so like we're not the greatest at like remembering to call like tech timeouts. So I mean, like you guys saw, I don't know if you guys saw, but against like other teams before, like we came back from when we were down 1-8, so we're not really scared of like letting the team get ahead of us and come back from that.
And something I want to ask about you personally, I know that in previous teams you were getting and learning some IGLing experience. We're not really sure who the IGL is for the team, but how is the communication going? Can you tell us who the IGL is?
So the pre-round calling is made by Zan, since they really like to like have their aggression at the beginning of rounds. And then pre-round calls, it's up to Misu, Zan, and I most of the time, but everybody can like call pre-round, mid-round, sorry.
Yeah, everybody does seem to have that experience. Everybody kind of coming from different sides and getting there. I think it's so impressive for Sand to be dropping so many kills and also being able to IGL. But I think it's great that everybody is kind of having their input when it comes to the mid round and to those late rounds. Now, for my last questions that I have for you is, it's going to be a match between either Supernova, Galaxy, or Passion Project. Can you give me your prediction and how you feel for that match to guarantee now top 3?
I think it's going to be Passion Project. They've been looking really good out there, even though like I have really good friends on Supernova too. So, but it's going to be a really tough match, and I'm excited to watch.
Yeah, we are definitely excited as well. Rice, thank you so much. As always, I love hearing from you and I love watching you play. Congratulations on this win, guaranteeing top 4. And hopefully it's not over for you. You guys can keep running it all the way until the end. With this, I'm going to say goodbye to Rice, and this is all that we have for this first match. A very long one for sure, but the action is not over. We have our second elimination match today right after this break.